Oh man, we live, baby. We live. We lit, baby. We lit. Welcome to Titanstv, baby. Let me know how you guys are feeling, how you guys are doing on this fine day. Yeah, trying something new. I think I'm gonna be here like real quick. We always say real quick, but you know how it ends up. It goes on and on and on because we're having so much fun. But yeah, family tree. Let me know if the mic is in sync with the visuals. Let me know if the sound is sounding good. And yeah, like let's keep it active inside the comment section. Of course, I'll be posting out the link where you guys could come on in, join us, and catch some, fun, go through some stuff, the normal stuff that we normally do. So yeah, all right, perfect, perfect. I'm trying the new headset in, see if that works better. So yeah, all right, cool. Allahu Akbar. Yeshua HaMashiach has risen. Yeah, baby. Do you know what, yeah? You know what's funny? I actually heard this, one of my Sierra Leonean brothers, yeah, was busting one two joke. And I said to myself, yeah, that would be an awesome idea for a show. Like it would be a bangers. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Allahu Akbar, Jesus has risen. And I like it because at first glance it seems like rather oxymoronic, yet I've got a sneaky feeling, yeah, a sneaky little feeling it's going to become quite hmm, quite accepted, you know, in about a few years to come. A few years, I'll give it a few years. I'll give it a few years actually. It's going to become like standard knowledge, like standard information. Like, yeah, everybody knew that. Type of vibe, everybody knows that. But right now, what's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? Mainstream information hasn't caught up with scholarly information. I will repeat that one. Mainstream awareness, actually, mainstream awareness, mainstream information has not caught up with scholarly information. That's what I will do. Okay. That's what I'll do. I'll 100% say that. Let me just make sure everything is cool. Do, 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 do. Yeah. All right. Everybody is coming through. It's looking good. Come on, man. Hit up the like button, family. Hit up the like button. Hit up the like button. Everybody know that we're live right now on Titanstv. And of course, let me actually post the link because I'm here for not a long time. Okay, real quickly, copied, and then we'll paste it. Yo, man, like Garfield, cheese, cheese, yeah, yeah, come true. All right, big up Banksy, big up Kalam. Hope you and the family are well. Yeah, all right, cool. So we're gonna go into some good information today, and I'm gonna try to make it quick because I want to keep it moving. To be honest with you, and the other night, I think I done a show, something called like fact checking Christian Prince, to do with the Quran's crucifixion story. Okay. And in there, I said, you know what most of you guys fail to understand, number one, that the Quran is actually a Christian text. And again, mainstream information and awareness hasn't caught up to this yet. With inside of the scholarly community, with inside of Quranic, what do we call it? Quranic studies, in the West, it's like a standard. It's like a very much so a standard. Yeah, this is Christian text. This is just Christian text. And I'm going to bring up scholars in a little while to just show you this stuff. Yeah. So, you know, what I'm saying here is nothing new. What there's various different ways of them saying it's a Christian text. One way of saying it is that, the early community that Muhammad grew up into, okay, and the early materials were Christian. Another group of scholars would say if you peel back about a third of the Quran, okay, about a third of the Quran has pre-Islamic Christian is a pre-Islamic Christian text that you can find parallels in with inside of Ethiopian homilies and Ethiopian hymnals. There's another group, the Luxembourg group. So that was Lulling that says that, Then you got Luxembourg talking about the Sierra Aramaic reading of the Quran. Then you got the rest of the scholars that can quite clearly see that, the Quranic text is simply being inspired, or it's being used as the Bible and other apocryphal writings are being used as subtext for the Quran. That's what the author is doing. Now, again, I don't even want to ruffle too many feathers, because you can have the religious folks that believe, no, this came directly from God, and not understanding what is meant with inside of the Quran by, wahi or inspiration or whatever the case is. Like because most people don't understand that Islam has a different understanding of revelation compared to Judaism and Christianity. Judaism and Christianity don't hold that, these things are, divinely inspired, word for word, letter for letter from God. No, they understand that all scriptures are what's it called? God breathed or inspired. Men wrote these books and so forth. But for religious people of Islamic, persuasion, they don't think like that. Okay, although if you do actually read, the Hadith literature, you kind of see, no, it's not that. But same way, let me not even get too complicated. What's good? So yeah, I'm going to go into some stuff. I don't know, where should I start though? Actually, let me start sharing my screen. What should I start on? Because I was going to do the show a little bit later. I might still do a show later on. I'm not too sure yet. I just want to quickly do this though. There you go. So we can share screen. Boom. All right, cool. And I remember earlier on I was discussing the crucifixion, right? Crucifixion. I see a lot of people just getting at me with inside of the crucifixion, right? When I say, you know what, the Quran doesn't actually say that Jesus was not not crucified. It simply says that the Jews did not crucify them. People started losing their minds, and that was mainly Christians. I'm like, you have read it, right? You have read it, right? They did not kill him and they did not crucify him. Rather, it only appeared to them. You did read it, right? And the problem is, I broke it down. Like, there is context. I broke down, the several ways where you could read the Quran. In this book, the crucifixion and the Quran, and there's a longer actual name for it. Let me just quickly give it to you, actually, because I'm trying to put you guys onto scholarship. Todd Lawson. So let's get that. Todd Lawson. Crucifixion and the Quran. Let's go. Boom. There you go. There you go. Right there. There you go. So hardback 71. The paperback is 17. Yeah. The crucifixion and the Quran. Okay. He does a nice in-depth study. Like, rate him for what he did. So I'm just gonna quickly go there real quickly. I'll put you guys on scholarship, right? In there, he kind of surveys the different ways you could read the Quran. Okay, the different ways you can read the Quran. So in there, he breaks down, there's various different ways you can read the Quran, and the Quran has been read in such a way. In terms of Docetism, he lists about 3 different forms of Docetism, and how it was read throughout, the centuries of Quranic exegesis or tafsirs, or the mufassiruns, okay, the exegesis. It shows you, like, inside of the Islamic world, these were the different ways that it was read and how it can be read. And he breaks down, there's, literal Docetism, there is figurative Docetism and resolute Docetism. These are different ways that you can be read. The negative interpretation, which is, that he did not die, he wasn't crucified, or he did not die. And then the theoretical reader could read it as such as, it is clear that it is God himself who determines such important matters as the fate of his son. Thus, even if to all outward appearances they actually kill and crucified Christ, it was only through the mysterious work out of the will of God, what Muslims might refer to as divine permission. Okay, so it's another way you can actually read the Quran in this particular verse. He goes through it. It shows, that he goes through the context. Like, this book is pretty much excellent. If you wanted to get like an unbiased understanding of the crucifixion verse, the one verse, yeah, in the Quran, out of the myriad of verses that speak on Jesus, the only time that the crucifixion is made mention of, and it's not even made mention of in the hadiths and so forth. It's just this one time. And then Muslims just come up with all different types of ways of understanding it because they don't understand it. All right. So it goes through the different periods of time, and how they began to understand these verses and so forth, right? And then this is just chapter 1, by the way. I'm just going to give it to you. So, the variety of interpretations, whether by Muslim scholars or scholars from outside the Islamic religious tradition, encountered in the following pages may be arranged under the 3 categories. All right. So number 1 is no one was crucified. Okay. Number 2, Jesus was crucified, but this happened only because God decided so. It was not a result of the plotting of the Jews. A person other than Jesus was crucified. This is the view most widely held in the contemporary Muslim world. Then it goes into, the Encyclopedia of the Quran, and it shows the various different ways, these things can be read. And, if you was to read it, it says here the Quran's teaching about Jesus' death is not entirely clear cut. Okay, lists 3 other reasons, other things as well. It says here the traditional report about the crucifixion of a lookalike substitute probably originated. Blah blah blah. That's not what I wanted to get. Where is it? Okay, let me see. Where is it? First Quran teaches no sort of thingy. It doesn't mention his resurrection. 3rd day. Okay. 3rd, although the Jews thought they had killed Jesus, from God's viewpoint, they did not kill or crucify him. Beyond this is the realm of speculation. Okay, so that's a good one to write. 3rd, although the Jews thought that they had killed Jesus, from God's viewpoint, they did not kill or crucify him. Let's get that underlined. Perfect. So yeah, brilliant book. It goes through it, right? It goes through that. And another good book to actually read, okay, if you want to find out about the crucifixion of Jesus, is there one here? Give me a sec. I thought I had pulled them up. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Not this one, not this one, not that one, not that one. Not this one. Okay. Snap. I thought I had them all up. Hold on 1 second. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I thought there was a crucifixion one here. Am I not reading correctly? Okay. I did have a book lined up for you guys to do with the crucifixion of Jesus. I don't know why I can't find it right now. That's kind of mad. Yeah. So anyways, I did have another book lined up for you guys to read. I might, look through it in a minute and find it for you guys. So, but there is another book that I wanted to put you guys on, to find out about the crucifixion of Jesus. Some awesome information, like some real good information. Let's see if I can just get my laptop. Where's my laptop? Bear with me. Let me just drag up my laptop. If all else fails, draw for the laptop that has all your information on there. There you go. Boom. Do. There you go. Okay, let's see. Quran is biblical subtext. That's what it's called. Okay, let me see if it's here. Let me upload it just in case it's not here. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, let's get it. All right. It is there. What's going on? Nope. So it might not be the Quran, it's biblical subtext. Where is the book then? Give me a hot second. Give me a second. Sorry for being not organized. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, there you go. Okay. Side Reynolds, the Quran in its historical context too. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second, family. Family. Let me get that uploaded. That should be uploaded around about now, if it will. An error code while trying to access the service. Oh, mate. Oh, mate. Anyways, I might just have to go. I might have to just like keep on talking because it's not trying to work for me. Okay, is it Christian or Hamitic? Um, is it Christian or Hamitic? Hmm, that's a good question. That's a good question. I personally believe it is 100% Christian, but you got to realize that these Christians read other literature as well. So these Christians would have read like, the Shepherd of Hermas, they would read, if you go through the Nag Hammadi library and so forth, they had Gnostic texts. They also had Hermetic texts as well. And they had a lot of Enoch, books of Enochs and so forth. So although it is, although it's Christian, there is Hermetic literature within inside of it. But truth be told, the information or all the sources kind of show that it's actually Hermetic. Kalam, do you have what Saint John of Damascus said about Islam as a heresy? He was in the 7th, 8th century. Yeah, yeah, I do. I do. I do. And there's a fascinating response actually. John of Damascus. He was the only. No, 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 no. They 100% were Christian. The nascent Islam, okay, before Islam became a religion, let's say in the 8th century and 9th century, the early reports about them, they were Christian, okay. Um, yeah, they were Christian, mind you, they were Christian. John Damascus was the only person. Let me get to it because you brought up a nice point about John. Well, you didn't bring up the point, but you was alluding to the point of John of Damascus. In this particular book, again, I love what he does because he gives all of the sources, like all of the sources. John of Damascus was the only person to come up with the idea that the Muslims did not believe in the crucifixion. It's right here, and it's an early source as well. Okay, here goes here. Right here. The Quran itself only asserts that Jews did not crucify Jesus. This is obviously different from saying that Jesus was not crucified. The point is that John of Damascus and many Quranic exegetes thought, though not the Quran, denied the crucifixion. Okay. Um, so, but there is the quotes. There is the quotes of John of Damascus. I don't know. I should see John of Damascus in the Quran. So that's John of Damascus trying to interpret the Quran. Um, but he was the first person to deny that, deny the crucifixion, full stop. The rest of the Muslim world, during that time period, in terms of the scale of literature, of, he breaks down, how can I put it? In this book, he breaks down, there is those people pre-Tabari. So you've got all of these muhadithins or all of these hadith collectors and hadiths, that talk about Jesus's crucifixion. They all do not deny the crucifixion of Jesus. Okay. Then you've got like Tabari's time and what he says. And we'll find that during that time period, let's just say from the 7th, 8th, 9th century, there was no mention of the denial of the crucifixion. The only person that brought forward the denial of the crucifixion itself was John of Damascus. Okay. And then you have the early Syrian writers, okay, the early Syrian writers, you know, 934s and onwards. You know, talk about the expansion, I'm going to call it, I am penning it, the Ethio-Arab expansion. They all view them as Christians. They viewed them as Christians. They acted, the rulers such as Muawiyah acted as a Christian, you know, emulated great Christian rulers and so forth. So to all, you know, perspectives, these people were Christians. There's a few in there that talk about Jews as well being in leadership as well amongst these, you know, amongst the whole Ethio-Arab expansion. But yeah, no, it was seen as a Christian movement. Let me see what else we got here. Jeez, as a Sudanese, I've learned a lot from your show, things that I didn't even know. Big up, salute, salute. Okay. Let me quickly read some more of your comments. Was deep in the Islamic world, even though he was Christian, he worked on the Caliph, whatever it's called. Yeah. Did Jesus Christ even exist? Jeez. Man said Jesus Christ, you know. Yeah. All right, cool. Cool. So let me see if I can bring up something, because this particular file does not want to be saved. And what's going to happen is, yeah, because it's not trying to be saved and the error keeps on occurring, yeah, I'm pissed because every single time I've highlighted, every single time I've highlighted stuff within inside of this particular thing to bring to you guys, you know what happens? It gets deleted. And each time I'm trying to bring it back to you guys to see, I have to reread it and then highlight it for you lot to get the point that I'm trying to give, which is so long. But I want to upload it to the cloud if I can. An error code while trying to access the service. Wow. So it's not even allowing me to actually to show it to you guys. Damn. That's a bit mad. That's a bit mad. I wanted to actually show you guys, you know, the different what different scholars actually saying with inside of the field. But yeah, I guess I can't show it to you today. But what's good, and what I wanted to say as well, yeah. Cheats! Hey, medicine man, what you saying, family? Come on, man. You look, come on in, man. You look, come on in. You know, Shaka, come on in, baby. Come on in. Yeah, let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. So, all right, let me go. Let me see. What do I wanted to show you guys? Let's see. All right, should I hop on the crucifixion or give you guys some other stuff? Mm. No, you know what I'm going to give you guys? I'm going to give you guys this, which kind of goes into the whole crucifixion, okay? I'm going to break it down to you like this. This particular book, I want you guys to start buying these books, you know, I'm putting up. If you can't buy them, yeah, you know what you need to do? Cash at me, baby. Cash at me, yeah? Cash at Titanstv, all right? And with that donation, I will drop you some of these books, okay? Because they don't come for free. To download these books, you have to pay a good pretty penny, like a good £70 for these books, yeah? Okay, cool. So yeah, go to this book, The Quran and its Biblical Subtext, okay? And it is phenomenal. This book here, it's a textbook. It's an absolute textbook, okay? Because I've showed you guys certain things. I've showed you guys certain things, and most of you guys be like, Kalam, you're chatting shit. I don't know. It sounds plausible, but I don't know. And I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. I know it sounds plausible, and I know you guys like are on the fence with it, yeah. But you know what it is, yeah. If I show you something from a PhD scholar within inside of the field, you might lean a certain way that way, innit? Because you might say, no, I don't know about that, Kalam. But yeah, let me start showing you stuff that's go inside of scholarship. I think this is like 2010, 2012. Let's see, 2010 scholarship right now, okay? This book is big. So it's talking about reading the Quran as a homily, basically. A homily is, within inside of Christian literature, you have basically like sermons, like teachings that's taking place. And what they will do will take a certain, theme. They'll think about a particular theme, um, and pull from the scripture, but not exactly quote from the scripture, but kind of speak around it to kind of exhort and teach a particular lesson. Okay. And in here, it will show you that's exactly what the Quran does. It pulls from biblical literature in terms of the Old Testament, the New Testament, Apocryphas, and even Jewish literature as well. It pulls from these things, and it already has a supposition that the audience, the listening audience, right, already knows these stories. So if we're talking about, Jesus and Mary and so forth, and the birth of Jesus, it already presupposes that you know this story. So I'm not trying to tell you the whole retell the story again, but I'm trying to tell certain parts of the story with a little twist to kind of drive home a point. And it goes in, he breaks this whole thing down. In this book, it's not him as an author, it's various different authors, right? Various different contributors, should I say. Let me quickly go into this. Various different contributors will say, all right, let's go in here, right? Our hearts are circumcised. Circumcised. Yeah, boom, cool. Let's go to that. Let me give you the examples. Case studies. Jeez. Our hearts are circumcised. What was it again? Let me see what page. We'll go into page 147. Yeah. And it just shows so clearly that the Quranic authors knew scripture. It knew biblical scripture. Yeah. All right. So, mate. Listen, this I'm gonna do it like I'm gonna do slow motion. I'm not gonna say a word for now, right? Or words that should interrupt this, so to speak. What you guys should be doing is once you see this, no, hold on. Let me make sure it's on a big screen. So all you can see is it. Yeah? I'm gonna do this. So literally, you guys should be screenshotting what I'm showing you right now. Yeah? Boom. Screenshot that. Boom. Screenshot that. Yeah? Before I start speaking. Start screenshotting these things. Okay? And I'll break down what is going on. So basically, in here, it's talking about this. It's talking that there are certain words that's used in the Quran that Muslim scholars have no understanding what it means. Like, is it sealed? Like the word ghuluf, let's see, ghuluf, ghuluf or ghulf, yeah. Talks about their hearts being ghulf, and they translate it as containers or wrapped. Like they don't actually know what this word means. Yeah, so they translate it all different ways, not understanding that this is actually coming from biblical literature and has a specific meaning. It's an idiom that was present during that day and time. Yeah, meaning our hearts are circumcised, but because the authors, or sorry, the exegesis or the people like trying to give an understanding of what words mean or exegesis of particular verses, they had no clue because they were not there inside of the context and they're outside of that tradition. They're now trying to give an interpretation of it. So now they're defining as such, but it completely falls short. All right. And then obviously modern day scholars, they're like, we're not bound by Islamic doctrine, right? So we can actually look at the breadth of literature that was around during that time period. I.e., we can look into the Christian literature, the Judaic literature, all different types of literature that was around. We can go in the Syriac, we can go in the Aramaic, we can go into the Hebrew, the Ethiopic, we can go into all of these different languages, okay, and see what's going on here. And what they were able to find is this. Let's see. Okay, see, look. Okay, again, with the killing of Jesus, the Quran turns a biblical accusation, Acts, cross-reference this year, Acts 3:14, 4:10, 7:52, into a proclamation of the Jews, i.e. 157. Okay, so we're now even speaking upon that, famous verse or famous chapter and verses that mentions the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ, right? It says here, the Quran interest in this trope becomes more evident still in the light of the New Testament. Paul, for example, repeatedly uses the image of circumcised heart in his exhortation. In Romans, he comments, being a Jew is not only having the outward appearance of a Jew, and circumcision is not only a visible physical operation. The real Jew is the one who is inwardly a Jew, and real circumcision is in the heart, a thing not of the letter, but of the spirit. He may not be praised by any human beings, but he will be praised by God. Okay, quotes there. Go into it, check it out. Okay, so and it shows different places where this being circumcised of the heart and ears is being made mention, but the Quran drops out the ears bit and keeps in the heart, being circumcised of the heart. But it's also not something new. It's just something that even other writers was doing during the time of the Quran. Let's see if we can bring that up. It has repeatedly been shown that the Quran's relationship to the biblical literature is characterized not by imitation, but rather by allusion and homiletic. Okay, by illusion and homiletic. Let's see what the footnote says. So it's a similar phenomenon is seen with the metaphor of a hard heart in Al-Ma'idah. The Quran, speaking of the Jews, proclaimed, for the violation of the covenant, we cursed them and made their hearts hard. This reflects an idiom in Ezekiel, who complains that all of the house of Israel have a stiff forehead and a hard heart. Okay, boom. So again, this is a major thing here. Yeah, the Quran, unlike what some people, some Christians or other people may be like, yeah, the Quran, copied from the Bible. It's kind of like what the Kemetic say, yeah, the Bible is copied from Kemet. No, scholars have gone through it. They said, no, we can't find any imitation, any copying that's been taking place within inside of the Quran. I think there's like one, possibly two verses that is a direct copy from the Bible out of the whole Quran, like a verse that's been like, word for word verbatim. Rather, it uses allusions and homiletics or homilies, yeah, to do its teachings. Jeez, if you're not catching on yet, yeah. Listen, I'm dropping some big boy scholarship on you guys right now, yeah. But I don't think you lot are even ready for it yet. I honestly don't, I honestly don't. Here you go. Somebody was talking about John of Damascus. Here we go. John of Damascus addresses circumcision of the heart when he paraphrases Stephen's speech in Acts 7, telling John has Stephen accused the Jew of being uncircumcised in the heart. But like the Quran, he omits the end of the phrase "and of ears" as it appears in Acts 7. This is understandable, since John's point is not to provide a precise quotation of the Bible, right? But rather to use biblical image that would resonate with his audience and contribute to his homily. Yeah, John of Damascus is using homily as well, right? Precisely the same might now be concluded about the Quran. Let's do that. Yeah, precisely the same might be concluded about the Quran. I like that. Where's my highlighter? There you go. Highlights me. Yeah. Cool. Anyways, cool. So now, yeah, what was beautiful as well, yeah, as you can see, there's the whole homily things going on. We can see that taking place, right? We can see that scholars are telling you, like, yeah, like the Quran is using the Bible as a subtext. In particularly, it's using Acts. This one here, yeah, is using Acts 7 as its subtext. On my show about Christian Prince, yeah, I say that verse 157 in particular is utilizing the Acts as a subtext. This one is using Stephen's speech as a subtext, right? In terms of the uncircumcised heart, right? But I'm gonna tell you that if you go into the speech or the sermon of Peter at Pentecost in Acts 2, you will find the most astonishing parallel with inside of it. The most astonishing parallel inside of it. Yeah. Hold on. Boom. Let me just double check something before I go into it. Oh, I'm so upset though, because I had some good stuff lined up for you guys, you know, but it's not coming up and it's not working. Give me a hot second. If somebody can come on whilst I can go on and see if I can fix this for you guys, that would be awesome. Who wants to be my co-host right now? Who wants to be my co-host? Give me a hot second. Let me just see something. An error occurred. I don't understand. Whoa. Okay. So far it looks like this is stopped working. Let me just double check. Peace, family tree. Let me know what you guys are saying though. Currently my thing is stopped working, so I'm gonna see if it'll come back on. Peace, family tree. Let me know what you guys are saying. There you go. Okay, medicine man is medicine man was there. There you go. There you go. Damn. What's going on? Testing, testing. Yo, Gabs, you there?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, man's there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to just refresh this browser. Give me a second.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, baby.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm just there. Yeah, I just came in. To be fair, I only came in because I was doing the update on COD.
Bro, the way, I've been waiting for this thing. It's telling me I've got 23 gigabytes that I need to delete.
Hold on, let me got left. Yeah. What's my time? I need to check how much I got left. But yeah, I had to do all of us that had to do. We was all in the party, straggers and everyone.
Yeah.
Mate.
All right, cool. So I'm discussing, the Bible, the Quran, Jesus Christ is risen, that good stuff there, talking about the crucifixion. We're showing how, the Quran uses the Bible and biblical literature as subtext for homilies to be teachings and sermons and so forth. How they utilize, how can we put it, key phrases or themes they pull up and then, reword it to teach a certain truth or a certain lesson.
Okay. Right. All right. Well, let me know, man. I don't know what we're delving into. Let's go. Let's see what we can do, man.
Okay. So
we can do. Where's Shaka? Shaka still there?
I don't know. I don't know if he is, I don't know if he is, but I'm upset because I had some good stuff like just lined up. But anyways, I'm gonna talk this talk anyway. Let me see. Let me see. So I'm gonna talk about let's see, if I just talk about Surah 4 verse 157, I'm gonna do this actually. I'm gonna show you how it pulls directly from Acts, in particular the Peter's sermon. Let's see if I can
tell me, okay. Yeah, if you get up, let me get up Acts. I'm gonna check out what is it in Acts? Which
Acts 2. Technically the speech really starts at 22, but the preamble, I would say about like 12, 13.
Okay, so Acts 22, yeah?
Yeah.
Acts 22. Okay, and what What verse?
Let's see if I can bring it up. Yeah, Acts 2, verse 22. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, Acts 2, verse 22.
Yeah. Let's see. Peter's
Acts
sermon.
2.
Boom. Okay.
Acts 2, verse 22. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
So,
See. Okay. For men of Israel, yeah. Listen to the message of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
it right there. But let me give the little quick preamble, right? So this is to do with the if you go up like to Acts 1, it's talking about the time of Pentecost. Let's see if it will have it actually.
Yeah, the day of Pentecost. Yeah.
The day of Pentecost. Yeah. So this here, yeah, it has. So what the Quran does, yeah, is take certain themes, right, and then rewords it in a way the audience is familiar with it. So you're supposed to know this is discussing Acts. Is a certain speech that he's talking on, but he's rewording it in a certain way. Okay, so this is the day of Pentecost when there was a whole marvel that took place. Everybody saw
Sorry.
it.
Just decided to cut you. Who's rewording it?
The author of the Quran.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we're looking at the Quran in its historical context. So we're not talking from a religious believing perspective, because as a religious person, you may not be able to do this. Okay. So religious people, like, you might just want to close down from now if you don't want, your feelings to feel a certain way. It's the same when we're talking about Jesus from a historical perspective. All of that walking on water stuff and the miracles that sounds out of this world, that's not historical Jesus. That's something that history can't actually verify. And the historical Jesus and the historical Muhammad, according to each individual field of Christian studies and Islamic studies, is two different things. It's not the religious myth of these people. It's what can we find that is historical. We know that a human being, doesn't just wake up with words of great geniosity within inside of them. They had to have gone through some form of education and schooling. They must have been influenced by their environment. Their environment would have shaped them and impacted them in a certain way. Certain things that might have taken place, like let's just say, for example, Russia and Ukraine. That something along that might end up with inside of anything, my literature, or I may make reference to them when I'm speaking if I'm that genius person. Like, it's because I have grown up in an environment, and whatever I produce will be a reflection of that environment. But anyways, we'll continue, We'll continue. But the scholars have seen that quite clearly that the author of the Quran, or the authors of the Quran, were very much so familiar with biblical literature. In fact, the audience that the Quran is speaking to, so to speak, comes from a tradition of biblical literature. They're either Jews or they're Christians. And it's quite clear that they're Jews or they're Christians because the Quran specifically says, I'm talking about you Jews, or I'm speaking about Christians. And the only way to understand the stories within inside of the Quran is if you've actually read the stories within inside of the Bible. Unfortunately, for most of our Muslim brothers and sisters, they accept what's written inside of the Quran, but they haven't read the biblical literature.
Uh-huh.
It's the same way as accepting, the stories within inside of the New Testament, but not understanding the literature that Jesus, the disciples, the apostles, and the rest of them, the people who write the letters, epistles, and so forth, they're quoting Old Testament literature.
Yeah.
And apocryphal literature. But if you just hold the New Testament, you're not going to really grasp the whole story. It's like watching. What's this new rubbish Matrix? The fourth Matrix.
That's how you know it's that bad. I don't remember the name of it.
Flipping waste of goddamn money.
There you go.
Went to the whole. What's it called? Every man's up in West London for that one. And it was. I was upset I didn't come and watch. What the other thing we were gonna watch? I was gonna go and watch something else with the man, them Spider-Man or something. I chose to watch that. Damn. But anyways, you can see even in that, it's now pulling from themes and motifs in the previous, from chapter 1. It's now going back to Matrix 1, and it's giving little references there. But if you haven't watched Matrix 1, yeah, you would never catch those references in Matrix 4. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Quran. If you haven't gone back to the biblical literature, you don't have a clue. You won't have a clue what's going on here. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So, we can see quite clearly, yeah, it's the Quran, Surah 4, it really starts from 153, but in particular, we're just going into 157. It's actually pulling from a few places. It's pulling from the motif of mocking, okay, that we find in Acts 2:13. So if you go to 2:12, actually start from 2:12.
2:12, yeah. And there,
yeah.
Astonished, yeah? Outstanded.
Yeah.
Astounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, do you want me to read that, yeah?
Yeah, read that.
Okay. So it says, astounded and perplexed, they asked one another, what does this mean? But others mocked them and said they are drunk on new wine. Where am I going down to?
Yeah. So in there, yeah, we have the whole, what the Quran will, in a minute, will now draw on, yeah, is the whole fact of mocking, yeah. It will draw on the fact of mocking. We'll go back to, the crucifixion scene of, people mocking Jesus and so forth. It will draw on, the whole mocking. It would draw on people being in doubt, people being perplexed at certain things and having assumptions on other things, right? But the Quran is saying, I've got the knowledge and I'm going to drop that to you. All right, read 2:14 to 2:15, and then we'll continue.
All right, cool. So 2:15. Okay. Then Peter stood up with the 11, lifted up his voice and addressed the crowd. Men of Judea and all who dwell in Jerusalem, let this be known to you, and listen carefully to my words. These men are not drunk, as you suppose. It is only the 3rd hour of the day.
Okay. So in there, yeah, it drops a few things. It drops the key words that our, the Quran is going to pick up on, right? It's going to drop a keywords. It's the whole context is people are seeing a marvelous thing happening. They're seeing something that is like an amazing thing, right? They're all astonished. But you know what they do? They start doubting and start questioning and start mocking it, right? It's the same. It's pulling on the theme of the crucifixion yet again, where this man done all these miraculous works, right? But regardless of all of those things, you can clearly see something miraculous is before your eyes, yeah? But you're still there doubting that this person is who he says he is.
Yep.
You're still there, mocking this person. You're still there, like, having some next assumptions in your head, right? This is the theme that you're going to see, the Quran, sorry, it's going to pick up on in a hot second. All right, but we're going to skip because he now drops a prophecy and so forth. And then 22.
22, yeah. It says, men of Israel, listen to this message. Jesus of Nazareth was a man certified by God to you by miracles, wonders and signs which God did among you through him, as yourselves know. He was delivered up by God's set plan and foreknowledge, and you, by the hands of the lawless, put him to death by nailing him to the cross. But God raised him from the dead, releasing him from the agony of death, because it was impossible for him to be held in its clutches.
There you go. All right, we stop there. All right. So what people don't understand is the Quran, 4157, is simply a reworking of that. Okay, and we're gonna go to it. All right, let's do English translation. Let's bring up, let's say, Pictal. Cool. Okay. All right. So, and because of their saying, don't know if can you see my screen?
Nah, because I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
It's like cool. Small, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Say no more. I'll just go through anyway. Because of their sayings, and it just has their sayings. But what's really taking place is mocking. Yeah. So we slew Messiah. We slew the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, Allah's messenger. All right. Now, of course, this is going to draw us back to, the crucifixion. These were the things that the Jews were saying at the time, that, so what, you're the Messiah, yeah? You're the Messiah, yeah? You're the messenger of God, yeah? You're a prophet, yeah? Go on, prophesy. Let me, man, blindfold man and just clap man across his head. Like, who slapped you, G? Huh? No, 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 no. You say you're a prophet, yeah? Who slapped you? Tell me, out of the five of us here, who slapped you? That's type of energy that they were bringing at this moment in time, right? And the Jews were wicked, yeah? Nah, astaghfirullah. So, anyways, yeah. So there's a whole mocking taking place, right? And it says here, all right, they slew him not, nor crucified him, but it appeared so unto them. And lo, those who disagree concerning it are in doubt thereof. They have no knowledge thereof, save pursuit of a conjecture. They slew him not for certain. Okay. Now, you're gonna be like, Kalam, I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, how is this a reworking of chapter of 2 verse 157? Sorry, 2 Acts 2, Peter's sermon, right? Are we there? Gabs, can you hear me? Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Yeah. Anyways. Why is this thing not working? Let me know, family. Drop a 1 if you can hear me, yeah? And Gabs, if you can hear me, drop a 1, man. Because my screen is frozen. I don't know what's going on these days. All the gremlins are out for me. Okay, I can hear myself, so that's cool. All right. What I wanted to do was kind of show you guys, I did a nice little something here. So I wanted to show you guys it, to show you. But somehow it's not trying to work. Everything is going wrong today. It's really not trying to work. All right, cool. Exit page. All right, come on, cool. Anyways, all right, cool. All right, so what we see here is that there are, very particular verbiage that's being used. Very particular verbiage that's being used in this whole chapter that you will find congruent with Acts and the sermon of Peter. Sorry, okay. So it's talking about, they've got their sayings, the other one's got their boasts, yeah. Oh, sorry, not boasts. What do they say? They got mocking and so forth, right? It talks about they slew him not, nor crucified him, which is a very distinct thing. Like, why not just say like they didn't crucify him, or they didn't kill him, but it's they didn't slew him nor crucified him, or neither did they kill or crucify him. This is very specific verbiage, and this very specific verbiage is literally within side of the whole Acts. All right, where is it? Okay, there you go. Crucified and slain. You can either just say crucify. That should be enough. No, but it's crucify and killed or slain and slew and so forth. Like, they're picking up on very specific. This is only in this Acts bit here. Yeah, they're picking up on very specific stuff. It talks about it appeared so unto them. Yeah, no, yeah. It appeared so unto them, and lo, those who disagree concerning it are in doubt thereof, and they have no knowledge save a pursuit of conjecture. All right. So in here, it talks about what was really going on is that the Jews weren't the ones who did it, right? Why so? Why did the Jews not do it? The Quran states the Jews didn't do it, but remember, its subtext is Acts. The subtext is the New Testament. The reason why the Jews didn't do it, okay, Acts answers why. It says him being delivered by the determinate council, or a better way of saying it, right here, let me just quickly get it, is the plan of God. Let's just see. Trying to get it. Where is it? Where is it? Sugar. Okay, there you go. Okay, so delivered up. Okay, as you know yourself, Jesus, this Jesus, delivered up according to the definite plan and foreknowledge of God. Yeah. Okay, so it's giving you what's going on here. So let's just go back to it. So the Quran is saying that they didn't kill and crucify him. Yeah. The Bible saying, no, it was God who delivered up Jesus according to his plan and foreknowledge. The Bible then further says, you crucified and killed him, not by your own hands, but by the hands of lawless men, i.e., the Gentiles. So when the Quran is saying that you did not crucify or slew him, it's speaking on various different levels. It's speaking on the fact that it wasn't your plan to do this. It was our plan, i.e., God's plan to do this, right? It's speaking on the fact that you yourself weren't the ones who physically did it. No, Acts quite clearly says it. You did it by the hands of lawless men, i.e., the Gentiles. So the Quran is literally just picking it up. Yeah. Where it talks about, assumptions and doubts, you'll find it as well within there as well. Doubts, mocking, assumptions, it's all in there. Like you suppose, all these things are literally in there. These are the motifs and themes that the Quran is picking up as a homily, picking up certain things and then rewording it and saying it in a particular fashion. But it follows the same pattern. Okay. And it continues. But Allah took him up onto himself. Right? And what do we have here? Okay. No, where are we? Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. After all of this, yeah, crucified and killed by the hands of lawless men. Look at that. The whole pattern of what's been going on, yeah, is now concluded with, Jesus Christ was it was by God's plan and foreknowledge, that he was killed and crucified, not by your hands, but of lawless men, and then God raised him up, losing the pangs of death because it was not possible for him to be held by it. And then what do we have afterwards? What do we have afterwards? But Allah took him up onto himself. The actual term is to rise or to raise him up onto himself. Let's just quickly go into it. Let's quickly go into it. 158. Rather, Allah raised him to himself. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Whom God, after the whole crucifixion is talking about, that it's not you that did it, it's God that did it, by God's foreknowledge that did it, it's even not by your hands that did it, but by wicked hands that did it, and then God raised him up. Boom. The Quran says exactly the same thing. That you didn't slew him or crucify him, but it appears so unto you, because it was God who did it. And those who disagree concerning thereof are in doubt, they have no knowledge thereof, so they pursue conjecture, they slew him not for certain, but Allah took him up, or Allah raised him up. It's the same story retold to tell a particular truth. It even further goes on to tell you that you must believe, the Jews must believe in Jesus before they die. And if you continue, with it, it says that, and it shall come to pass that whoever shall come on, call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. It's literally following the whole pattern of Peter's sermon. But most people don't know this because they're not up to date with with Quranic studies. These people that I'm quoting, yeah, like Saeed Reynolds, yeah, these are big boy scholars in the field. Big boy scholars in the field. Big boy scholars in the field that will tell you quite clearly, yeah, these are just simply homilies. The Quran should be read as a homily. Let's see. Look at this. Look at this. This is so sick right here. From a literary standpoint, yeah. Let me make sure this is big for you guys to get it. Yeah. And when I firing shots at people, yeah, you know, like the Christian Princes and David Woods, yeah, I'm not saying it out of anything bad. I'm just simply saying they're not up on the new scholarship. They're doing something called polemics. This right here is scholarship. Anyways, from a literary standpoint, the relationship between the Quran and biblical literature is significantly closer than that between the New Testament and the Hebrew Bible. Hold on. Hold on. Rewind that one there, track there, selector. Yo, Gabs, you back here in the building with us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you hear what I just said?
I heard that still. Just go ahead.
Yeah. From a literary, let's just make sure we widen it well. Let's just widen it well for everybody to actually see it. Yeah. From a literary standpoint, the relationship between the Quran and Bible literature is significantly closer than that between the Old Testament and the New Testament. I can't go to the next page because this
That's
is the
peak.
madness. Yeah.
That's peak, you know. That's
So
absolutely
what?
peak. You know why that's peak? Because this still then goes back to the question is why are Muslims and Christians always debating, going backwards and forth, when you know where this piece of work that you're reading here says that they're basically similar.
They're similar. The Quran relies on the Bible to teach.
Wow.
Or for its surahs. It relies on it. That is the subtext. It's talking based upon these things.
Wow.
The problem is when the Quranic literature was co-opted. Some say corrupted later on, but co-opted for political reasons to create a new religion and a new identity. So now, because it's a new religion and it's a new identity, we are now supposed to be diametrically opposed to one another. So now you're Christian and I'm Muslim. And we shouldn't come eye to eye together. But if the Muslims actually listen to what the Quran taught, they will realize that it's the same thing.
Can I just say something? I'm trying to just came to my mind. So then if you're saying that then the people who are in power obviously did what they did because of political reason, would part of that be removing stuff or not even removing, hiding certain things from the original? Because are we saying, is it safe to say, or could we say that there is an original text to what there is now?
Okay, there you go. Now, I like the way I like the way you're speaking. Okay, so now with scholarship, now they've all proposed that. Well, not they all. It is proposed, yeah, but it's not proven. Okay, let me just say that again. It is proposed, but it's not proven. That there's something called the Or Quran, and these terminology means like basically an original Quran. Okay. Now the original Quran simply was called like a literature defecto or a Quran defecto. I can't remember the particular terms. And I would bring it up, but this thing is doing a madness right now. Okay. So there's an Or Quran, and it literally only has the skeleton of the Quran. It supposedly is made of the razm. The razm literally means drawings, which is basically the consonants that makes up the word. So let's just say, let me think of a word. Let's think of a word. Okay, Malik.
Malik,
yeah. It would only have MLK. It won't have. It won't have the harus, the what makes the vowels basically.
Yeah, the vowels. Yeah.
It didn't have the vowels. It just had the razm. It just had the consonants basically.
Okay.
So now, but with that, you could basically change the consonants around. So basically, Malik could be read as Malik, Maluk, Malak, Maluk, Mulak. Is, you know, you could do all the different variations because there's no consonants there, right?
Okay.
That makes any sense. There's no you know, haruf, so there's no way of telling how to read it. For example, like when I was in Egypt and I picked up like a newspaper, right? All it had was just the letters, right? But because there's no, you know, there's no fataha, there's no kasra, there's no duma, there's nothing like that. I can't tell what the vowels are. So I can read it, but I don't know what word it is. It could be several words. So we don't know. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But if you was familiar with the text, it's like text messaging. If you're familiar with, you know, shorthand, you will know what the word is. But if you're not, you're just gonna have to put it in. But even in that, the Or Quran, yeah, the Or Quran, supposedly didn't even have no nuqtas. Jeez. Now this is the next thing right now. Yeah, I'm dropping some stuff to you. It's gonna go over most people's heads, right? So, for example, yeah, you have alif, ba, and so forth, right? But if you see a ba, yeah, let me show you. Actually, let me show you. Actually, why can't I not show you guys? Let me show you. I'm gonna show you some stuff. Arabic alphabet. Yeah, there you go. Let's get it. Arabic script. Boom. So right here, yeah, you see this here? Can you see? We might not be able to see it. So you got
Okay.
alif, ba, ta,
Yeah.
sa, yeah. You
Yeah.
got jim. You got ha. You got ka. You got all these different letters, right?
Yep.
Now guess what? There was no nuqtas. The nuqtas are the dots.
The dot stuff also.
So you know what you can if you're reading it and there's no dots, you see this ba, ta, and tha.
Uh-huh.
It's all the same letter.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got the jim, the ha, and the kha. They're all the same, you know, but there's no nuqtas. So it could be whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like then it's the same with the seen and the sheen. The same with the sad and the dad. The same. It goes on. It could be any one of those things if you don't know how to read it correctly. The fa and the kaf, etc. The dal, the zal, the ra, like and the za. It could be the same letter. It could be the same thing. You don't know, right? So the Or Quran did not have these nuqtas and it didn't have the Fataha, the Kasra, and the Dhamma and so forth. It didn't have the Hamza neither. It didn't have the vowels. But that's something else. I don't even want to go there because we're now going into like deep scholarship, yeah? That it's a bit haram to speak on, yeah, because my Muslim brothers, yeah, and sisters, yeah, they might just jump on me and want to kill me for saying certain things. So I'm going to keep it like, you know, let's just brush underneath the carpet for now, innit? Let's just brush underneath the carpet for now.
Huh.
But when you start reading, yeah, people like Louis, where is Christopher Louis? Okay, let me drop a little something, just to be controversial slightly. Okay, okay. Come on, it's taking so long. I don't know why it's taking this long. You know, it's moving too slow for me. Yeah, my computer's moving slow. Like he goes into it. He breaks it all down. You know, he breaks it all down, and it shows that, you know, certain texts are actually coming from you know, Christian text. It's not even like, it's right here actually. The text of the Quran, as transmitted by Muslim orthodoxy, contains hidden behind it a ground layer and considerably scattered throughout it, together about 1/3 of the whole Quran text, an original pre-Islamic Christian text. Anyways, Abi, let's not even discuss this stuff today. Let's not discuss it. I don't want to get too controversial, okay? Let's not get too controversial. Let me come off this because I'm sharing my screen too much. Like, let my Muslim brothers actually love me and not hate me. Okay? All right. Okay, cool. Anyways, I'm taking questions. I'm taking questions and I'm taking comments, right? Tag Titans TV. Yeah, Tag Titans TV. And if you want to show some love, don't forget the Cash App, baby.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
I need to. I've jumped on this whole Cash App thing. Yeah, I realized I had some people had donated to me, but because I didn't actually go on my Cash App to call it, it expired. There you go, man. Like Donald Woods, yeah. Shouts out to you for dropping some money, yeah. But yeah, your thing expired. I didn't even know how to do Cash App too tough, you know. So forgive me, yeah. Forgive me, forgive me. Becky as well, yeah. Carbon empty unct as well. Yeah. Let me come out of this. But yeah, my thing expired. I didn't know how to do Cash App too tough. I was trying to jump on the new news. Anyways, yeah, tag Titans TV and drop your comments and questions real quickly. There is no one more similar to Arabs than Greeks. Do a little research and you'll find videos on YouTube actually Arabs and Greeks. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, talk to me, Gabs. What are you saying?
Yes, bro.
Mm.
Nah, I'm there. But I ain't gonna lie, fam.
Yep.
I think I got a cut, you know.
I got a cut too. I got a
got
cut
a
too.
cut still.
So family, yeah. We've got to go. But if you want to come in last minute, there's the link. Yeah, come on through. If not, we dropped a little something for you guys, innit? We dropped a little 1-2 knowledge for you guys. Hopefully it was okay. What did we go through? Let me just make sure. Did I cover everything that I said I was going to go to? Investigating the biblical subtext of the Quran. All right, we did that. Textual analysis of Surah 4157, reviewing groundbreaking scholarship. Done that. Homily, Christian, Quranic layers. Done that. New Testament acts, speech, allusions, and more. Yeah, I think I went through everything, to be honest with you. Yeah, if I didn't go through everything, please let me know, but I think I did. Yeah. So, family tree, if there's not anything else, yeah, I'm going to keep it hot stepping. Don't forget to like up the show. And maybe later on, we might jump on here and do a little something. Okay. We might jump on here a little later on and do a nice little something where we open up the panel and you lot can come on in and, speak. But right now, you're not dropping any comments, so we're not being interactive. So, Easy Bands is here. All right, go through Easy Bands. Talk to me.
What's going on, brother?
I'm there, family. I'm there. Talk to me.
Yeah. So, I think you dropped a video like 2 days ago or something like that, and I dropped a comment in it.
Yeah.
And so, basically, you're saying that the Quran and the Bible are the same, right?
Nope. I'm saying that
No,
the
you're
Quran
saying that. Go ahead.
The Quran uses biblical literature as well as apocryphal literature and Jewish literature as its subtext.
Yeah, but you said basically that they're saying the exact same thing.
They're saying the exact same thing.
Okay, there I have to disagree. On the part where you said that it uses biblical literature or whatever, that part I agree, right? Because I've seen the videos of the scholars talking about, how it all came together. But the part where you say that the two of them are saying the exact same thing, that's that's pretty evident that it's not.
Okay,
with the story about so basically the Quran basically says that the Jews didn't kill Jesus Christ, right? They didn't crucify him.
Yep.
Right? The Bible says that the Jews did crucify Jesus Christ. Of course, at the hands of the Romans, but that they did crucify Jesus Christ. So already that's a big difference.
Nope. I think you're failing. We brought it up. Acts 2. Acts 2, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
You brought up, you brought Acts 2, right?
Yep.
And in Acts 2, it's basically describing a principle that we've been known as Christians, that nothing goes on in this world without God, right? God allows everything to go on.
That's fine.
So if you're using that logic to say that,
no, it's more than that logic. It's more than that logic. The logic behind Acts 2, as well as the rest of the New Testament, is saying that this is more than just God's will for it to happen. Rather, God planned this to happen, and God handed over,
Yeah.
his son to be
Yeah.
for this to happen. It wasn't you Jews who actually killed him. Rather, no, this is actually a sacrifice that was done to fulfill Scripture. So this is something bigger than just saying, oh, it's just divine will. This is what's supposed to happen.
You see, all right. So this is where I have to disagree with you on what you're saying, because in other parts in the Bible, right, it directly specifically says that the Jews killed Jesus Christ. Even the Jews themselves asked that the curse of his blood be upon them and their children, right? So it's pretty evident and it's pretty clear that in the Bible that the Jews are responsible for Jesus Christ's death. Now, what is being said in Acts is the same principle that I was talking about, which we can use on everything. We can use that with Adam and Eve in the garden. We can say that it was part of God's plan. We can, like, everything basically that's happened has been part of God's plan. Like nothing that happens on earth, except for, I guess, that's a different conversation altogether. But everything that happens, like Esau and his brother, switching places and stuff like that. All those things were part of God's plan, right?
Okay. Yeah. So what the Quran is doing right now is picking out something, right? And it's talking, specifically to do with like mocking and all these other things. Yeah. And like even the context goes even further back into 453. That's where it really starts. Surah 4, verse 153 is where it really starts, and it starts listing out certain things, right? And it's basically saying to you, it's even it's very much so agreeing with what you're saying, that the Jews. Okay, let me just lay it out first and foremost. Yeah, the Quran affirms that Jesus was killed and crucified.
Okay, so hold on. So hold on. Can we go point by point? Because I know you're about to start laying out points, right?
Okay, yeah.
Where you're about to. So okay, so your first point right now was that the Quran confirms that Jesus Christ was what?
Crucified.
That he was crucified and killed. All right. So there you're gonna have to show me, So hold on. And okay, let me also just put the statement out. All right. So first off, there's a difference between saying, oh, what the Quran used to say, or what it started off saying, and what it says now. Because if we look at what it says now, they're totally different, right? So okay.
I'm going to say this. Let me make this even more clearer then. The Quran in the Arabic as we have today versus certain translations, because certain translations do some type of gymnastics and put their interpolations into it. Okay. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking, if you was to read it word for word, what the Quran says in the Arabic, okay. Today, you will come to the conclusion that Jesus was killed and crucified, but it just wasn't by the hands of Jews.
Now there, I totally disagree. So okay, if you can,
before I continue, before I stop there, I would even drop it like this. I would even say, to even double down on my point, to be completely neutral, I will go and provide you with a scholarly work. Oh, come on! Why?
So hold on. You said that the Jews, the Quran says that the Jews were responsible, or it says they weren't?
No, they says that the Jews never killed or crucified him.
Okay, so all right, that's one point.
It appeared so to them, or they thought they did, or it appeared so to them. So, in that being said, right? In that being said, if something appeared so to somebody, right, it's not negating that the fact that Jesus was crucified. It's negating the fact that they were the ones who did it. You see it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. There, I have to argue with that.
So if I say to you, so basically, it's saying that, they didn't do it, but it appeared so to them. It's like saying Jesus Christ was crucified. We can reword it in the positive instead of the negative, right?
Yeah.
Jesus was killed and crucified, but the Jews didn't kill or crucify him, but they thought they did.
So, okay. So what are the translations in the Quran, right? With the words used in with that statement, because what I'm aware is that there's like two translations that's there. There's one that says that either there's one that points to the translation that either he was replaced on the cross by somebody similar looking, or the whole incident was like a hallucination.
Okay, so no, that's not what the Quran says.
No, I'm saying the words that are used in Arabic, right? I don't speak Arabic, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the scholars, right, have translated the meaning of those words to mean that could go either those two ways. That either he was replaced on the cross, or, you know what I'm saying, or the whole incident did happen.
Okay. So no, that's not what the Quran says, and that's what we're discussing. So if you go to the Corpus Quran, yeah, it's quite good. The Corpus Quran is excellent. You'll have in there a word for word. If you go into it, chapter 4, you just type in chapter 4, verse 157, and you go to the word for word instead of the English translation. It will give you word for word what it actually says. Arabic word for Arabic word and its translation.
All right, so go ahead and read it, man, if you don't mind.
I can't right now. My computer.
All right, cool.
I don't know if you can see my screen is frozen, so I can't even go and do one of these things.
All right, cool. So let's get back to this. So you said that the Quran as it is today, right, is in total agreement with the Bible.
It's okay.
That's what you said.
I may have to be even clearer than that. It is. Do you know what? I would say, yeah, it's an agreement. Let me do it like that, because there is these little technicalities.
Okay, so
I can't be bothered to go into the intricacies. So yeah.
So then I'll have to rebut with, already just off of that. We're gonna go on to some other points, but let's at least at the end of each point we can agree to disagree, if anything, right? All right. Cool. So I'd have to say that already, as it is today, you know, they totally disagree with what's being said in both, right? And I can even go into detail. So all right, so for instance, when you just did your study, you know, I didn't watch the whole thing, but you had to go in and, you know, like make or use scholarship and say, all right, this is what was being said at the time, or these are the scripts that were being followed. So this, instead of using this word, they should have used that other word, right? For instance, right?
Go ahead.
So you get what I'm saying? So already you're replacing words. So if we're saying that the Quran, as it is today, right, is in agreement.
Sorry, let me just cut you there. It's talking, when I'm saying replacing words, I talked about the particular thing called wolf. Okay. What was being replaced is not the actual Arabic itself. It was the translation and the context and the idiom and the understanding that the exegesis and the translators don't have or didn't have to understand that's what it meant.
Okay,
so it's not exactly changing the word of the Quran, is understanding the Quran.
Okay, given all that, I agree with all that, right? And like, you already know my position is with the original thing that you said in terms of where the Quran came, I agree with that. But my problem is what it says now today is totally different, even from what you're talking about, right? So
I would agree with you if we're discussing English translations that's been heavily influenced by tafsirs, okay? Then I would say 100% you're incorrect with the English translation. But if you were reading the Arabic, I would say no.
So, all right, you gave an example earlier about Jesus being called, or not Jesus, sorry. I think it was in the hadiths you're talking about, where you're talking about Muhammad being approached by Jesus.
Muhammad being approached by Jesus.
Yeah, in the cave. All right, you didn't say it like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't say it like that, but you broke it down like to eventually come to that conclusion. So all right. So now, even with that, there, you know, that I don't know if you used an Arabic term for that, the angel or whatever, the character that was used to describe the, you know, Jesus.
Okay.
The Metrodon. What was
Metatron?
What was Metatron? But what was the term in Arabic that was used for that? In the hadiths.
Okay, so Waraka said namuz.
So the namuz, right? So that's an example already, right? So even if you read it, they have their own translation of what that means, right?
They do.
And what is it?
They break it down as it's the angel Gabriel.
Okay.
So they don't exactly translate. They now do something as an eisegesis and now make the word say Archangel Gabriel.
Okay, so all right, so whatever.
But
I agree with
now,
that logic. Whatever you just broke down, I agree with it.
But now,
so they make the mistake, right?
Yeah, they make a mistake, and then because we're blessed, to have scholarship, and we could be like, oh, namuz, that's just simply the Arabic way of saying the Greek nomos.
But you get my point, right? In terms of that, they've made mistakes in the way they translated the original scripts and the original whatever, you know, the information. And the way it's presented today, right, even in Arabic, is off. Like even in Arabic is off, and it doesn't agree with the Bible. Now, when you do what you've been doing, like, because I've been you know, looking at some of these studies as well, and you know, I agree with a lot of the stuff that you're saying. But when you try to simplify things and try to make it seem like, oh, Christians and Muslims, we just don't know what we're talking about when we're fighting against each other over this text, right? Because we're looking at the text as it is today, and we're reading it, and we're seeing this one doesn't agree with that one. Now, what you're doing is something else. You're going into, all right, how did we arrive with the text that we got today, right? And so my point is that for you to just simplify it and say, all right, the Quran is an agreement with the Bible is false, because what the Quran says today, you know what I'm saying, doesn't even make sense. But if you want, we can get back even specifically into this crucifixion story, because the Bible clearly says in many places, right, that you know, Jesus Christ was crucified, and the Jews were responsible through the hands of the Romans, right, Pilate. The Quran, if you scan through the Quran, one, the Jews are never held responsible, which, all right, I understand what you're saying, that in Acts, right, it gives like a spiritual explanation, because people are asking, yo, how can your God be killed by human beings and stuff, right? So we have to explain it spiritually to people that God allowed this to happen. He was the sacrifice. And that's the part that you're even leaving out of the whole thing, right? That it wasn't just because that God allowed it to happen. The reason for that was he was supposed to be a sacrifice, right? For all humanity. Now, the Quran doesn't even have that concept in it. And so it doesn't have the Jesus Christ being the sacrifice. That's why, for all human beings, that's why he got crucified. That concept is absent in the Quran. And that being the case, it basically eliminates the need to even have that story of the crucifixion and resurrection. And that's why it's not even there. So that's my point. So even when we consider those things alone, the Quran is saying something else, and the Bible is saying something, and the crucifixion itself and the sacrifice is pivotal. That's what this whole Bible is about, man. So if the Quran doesn't have that, there's no way the two can be in agreement.
Okay, so the Quran is not trying to, how can I put it? Okay, it's pretty obvious. I was going to say the Quran is not even trying to teach nothing new. Okay, so everything in the Quran is nothing new. It's just regurgitating old things. It's just literally trying to make people remember certain things. So the Quran takes it for granted. Okay, and this might be a tall order for me to even say.
I was about to say, man, you're reaching there, bro.
Yeah, no. It's cool.
I mean, can you source? Where do you get that source from to say that it takes it for granted?
Okay, I will show you in a hot second.
I bet.
Yeah. So the Quran takes it for granted that the audience it's speaking to knows the literature it's talking about. So it takes it for granted that the people the Quran is speaking to is Christians. Let's keep it simple as Christians. Okay.
Yeah.
The audience that the Quran is speaking to are Christians.
Yeah.
The things that it keeps on saying, remember this, bring to memory this, or whatever the case is, like it's telling you, remember certain things that's already known, but I'm gonna just retell the story, or not fully retell the story, but just tell it a certain way to bring about a particular point. Right? Same as John of Damascus. I already know this story. I'm not gonna quote the whole verse in terms of, oh ye, who are uncircumcised of heart and ears. I'm just gonna simply say, oh ye who are uncircumcised, because I don't need to do the whole, I don't need to just spit verbatim, because I'm just taking it for granted that you're already aware of these particular stories.
Yeah.
So the Quran is speaking. If you read the Quran, it's speaking like you're already aware of these stories. It's speaking about Noah, it's speaking about Adam, it's speaking about Mary. It's speaking as though you already know these stories. There's nothing new.
There's no genealogy or anything.
Yeah. But from an Islamic or Muslim perspective, they have, when they read the book, they don't have that understanding. It's speaking in that way. So therefore, the translations might come across a bit skewed because they're trying to make sense of it. All right.
Okay. So
because they don't have the previous stories. But it's quite obvious, like the Quran is, is picking up, for example, when we're talking about the story of Mary, it's picking up from pseudo Matthew. It's picking up from the provocatum of James. It's picking up from, Luke. It's picking up from Matthew and so forth. It's picking up from these things and telling a story as the audience already knows the story. So we don't have to go into the intricacies.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing when we're talking about, for example, the crucifixion. It takes it for granted that that, Jesus is your Lord and Savior. He died on the cross for you, and so forth. I'm simply making a point. The point that was being made in verses 153, where it originally starts, to 162, is nothing even to do with the crucifixion. It's literally a parenthesis. I'm just gonna, throw that in there. But what I'm really talking about is the disbelief of the Jews.
Yeah. Okay.
All the things that they do wrong, and they're going to be punished for it unless they repent and believe.
All right. So I'm gonna say this though. Hey man, I'm Christian, right? So of course, I'm happy if that's what the Quran is saying. Of course, I'm saying I'm happy because it's in alignment with what I believe. But at the same time, with the whole situation, hold on. I was gonna say this. You went on for a long time, so I kind of forgot my first point that I wanted to make. But so you were saying that basically that that they took it for granted, that the Quran took it for granted that Jesus Christ, that the information about Jesus Christ being the Savior was already out there to the masses, right? But this is the problem with that, bro, is that message of Jesus Christ in the Bible is pivotal. Like the whole Bible, right, is the whole Old Testament is about Jesus Christ is coming, and then sacrificing himself as the Messiah and sacrificing himself for the sins of the people. It's throughout the Old Testament. Now, I'm not on point with all that stuff off the top of my head, like probably you are, where we can go through, I don't know if Ezekiel talked about Jesus Christ coming, but a few prophets spoke about his coming in visions that they saw. The New Testament is all about the sacrifice, right? That's what the Bible is about. So if we look at the Quran and we look for a sacrifice, like the whole concept of Jesus Christ sacrificing himself, it's nowhere to be seen in the whole of the Quran. So there's no way that you can. All right. So even if you're trying to say that they took that for granted, right? What type of religion? What's the basis of? What's the teaching of the religion?
Okay. So
let me just finish off right quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So we know what Christianity is teaching, what the Bible is teaching. This is why I'm saying they can't be the same, because we know what the Bible is teaching. The Bible is teaching that we have salvation through Jesus Christ. The Quran hasn't got that message. So even just the basic and fundamental teachings of the Quran do not match up with the Bible, because they lack that fundamental and basically the only teaching, the biggest teaching that's in the Bible. How do you
Okay. So now we have to understand the intention of the literature.
Mhm.
Where you're seeing the Quran as a substitute to the Bible, that's not its intention.
Sorry?
I said, where you might be seeing the Quran as a possible substitute towards the Bible, or it's its own new thing, starting a new religion and so forth. That wasn't.
It's a continuation, right?
It's not even a continuation like that. It's like if you pick up any other Christian book written outside of the Bible, and you pick up, literature in the genre of homilies, right? You will see that there's certain teachings in there. It's teaching a lesson. It might be teaching you, to be good to your mother, to be good to your parents and so forth. It won't have anything to do with crucifixion in there. It's like the book of Revelations, I don't know if it has, it might have allusions to it, the lamb that's been slain and so forth, but it won't have anything to do with the crucifixion, because that's not its objective. It's an apocalyptic work. So you have to see that this book is meant to be a supplement, like other carry-ons or lectionaries out there. It's meant to be a supplement to teach you certain things that's inside of the Bible itself. It's using the Bible as
Kalam,
you're supposed to have foundational knowledge of the Bible, but I'm teaching you certain things on top of it.
So what is it teaching on top of it that's not in the Bible? Let me ask you that.
Nothing. It's not teaching.
So that's my point. So
it's saying to you, let me bring to your mind this particular teaching for you to learn about something. Let me pull up something. Let me see if I can just pull up something so I can, be more clearer to you. Give me a second. Let's do this. Banksy, what's good, family?
Big up, Titan. Big up, Easy.
What up,
just
fam?
sitting. Hey, how's it going, sir? I'm just actually listening mostly. I didn't want to interrupt this flow, because I wanted to get a few things in my head as well. In regards to what you said about, for example, the crucifixion and the salvation. You see, the problem is, I think, Easy, you're missing the point of the fact that Islam can't, not even if it wanted to, it can't introduce Jesus Christ as the salvation and the savior of humanity, because then it will not have anywhere to go. It would just tell everyone to be Christian.
I agree. Yo,
So,
thank you.
So
You
it
see,
can't.
me and you are agreeing.
Yeah, it really simply can't go down that road,
Yep.
because it is a dead end for as far as Islam is concerned. Because
Exactly.
how can Islam introduce something new when the final message effectively is no one can get through to heaven except through Jesus?
So
Those
what?
messages are not going to be central to Islam, because Islam is effectively shooting itself in the foot by doing that.
Exactly.
How can you start a new religion when you're telling everyone, oh, this other religion is actually the way?
Yes. So this is my point, right? And this is what I'm trying to get across to Kalam, is that you cannot say that the Quran is saying the exact same thing as the Bible is saying, because just as the brother just said, that already the Quran comes with the intention of not replicating the same message that's in the Bible, because if they do, then you're basically telling everybody to be a Christian, right? And that's just evidence in itself that the two books don't say the same thing. And
no. It can say the same thing.
Oh, brother,
but
you
it
just
won't necessarily mean the same thing. You see, you can tell the same story to two different people, and the two different people can take different meanings from that.
All right. So you're telling me that the Quran teaches the salvation of the human race through Jesus Christ's sacrifice. Is that what you're telling me?
No.
But
the
that's
Quran
what I'm telling
tells
you
the
that the Bible
story
tells.
of a man getting crucified. You are putting into it the salvation of the human race.
Does the Quran talk about a man getting crucified?
Well, yeah, that's what it's
Where,
talking
brother?
about.
Where? It doesn't.
Well, the
It
verses that Kalam mentioned in regards to.
Callum, the verses that Callum mentioned, right? What those do is leave an assumption open that yes, it might be that they're suggesting that okay, the Jews think that they did this thing, which they didn't really do, and God just let them do it. It leaves that assumption open. It doesn't say, oh, Jesus Christ was crucified. He wasn't crucified by the Jews like they said, but he allowed himself to be crucified. It never says that anyway. And I'm not trying to, pick and choose and say, all right, show me where it says this in these exact words. Show me where it says that in any words.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
oh, sorry,
Let
go on.
me just quickly go into this quickly so I can, we're trying to move on quicks and that. All right, cool. I'm gonna go back to what we was discussing. I just wanted to just quickly bring this up. So this is again, we're reading the Quran as a homily. It says here, all right. According to Reuven Firestone notes that the Quran contains so many parallels with the Hebrew Bible and New Testament that it could not possibly exist without its scriptural predecessors as subtext.
Yep.
The Quran's relationship to its subtext, I would add, is like the relationship of homily and scripture. The clearest indication that the Quran is a sort of homily is its frequent recourse to allusions. Rather than retell a story, the Quran often employs a single word or a simple phrase that should bring the entire story to the mind of the biblical-minded audience. It goes on to give the case of Sarah. Let me just read the case of Sarah, and then we can bring it back to the crucifixion if you like. Yeah, the case of Sarah's laughter is particularly illustrative of this quality. The Quran explains neither the reason for nor the meaning behind her laughter. It only alludes to it with the passing phrase for that. Anyways, I don't know how to do that now.
It's all good, man.
In other words,
yeah,
yeah, with all these dots underneath and stuff. Okay, anyways, in other words, the Quran is not so much informing the audience that Sarah laughed as it is bringing to mind the audience knowledge of her laughter. Thence, the Quran turns immediately to the religious dimension of this account. They said, do you wonder at the decree of God? May the mercy and blessings of God be upon you and your house. God is praiseworthy, glorious. In the case of Sarah's laughter, the Quran's reliance on the audience's knowledge of the story is particularly salient. Since, for the sake of the rhyme, the Quran reports her laughter before it reports the annunciation of her son. Without knowledge of the biblical account, the audience is left in a state of bewilderment. Indeed, the Mufassirun are found to be in precisely that state. Okay? So again, the Quran is a homily.
Okay, so what would you say is the major teaching of the Quran?
Hold on. I'm not going to do that.
My bad.
Do that. Okay.
My bad.
The Quran is drawing us particular, words and phrases, right? That should bring the entire story to the mind of the biblical audience. So again, with the crucifixion story, is dropping certain things. I'm not going to tell it to you as a historical account. I'm just dropping certain things that alludes to I'm discussing Jesus's, death and resurrection, because I already take it into mind that you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So I'm not going to give you the whole, and this is for the salvation of your sins and so forth. If you're already a Christian and you already accept the fact that Jesus got crucified and died for your sins and was raised, I don't need to break that all down. I could just give you, certain little things because I'm trying to make a point, and that's not the major point I'm trying to make, that he died and resurrected and set for your sins. I'm just drawing from Acts 2, or I'm drawing from Acts 7 in certain other places, right? To bring this to your mind, for you to get a particular point that the Jews are disobedient, they are prone to killing the prophets, they're prone to breaking their covenants and so forth. This is what they do. They do all these mad things, they curse Mary and so forth, right? But guess what? I, Allah, God, I'm going to turn that on its head. I'm going to make, whatever your curse, however you're being mocking and cursing other people, that will become a curse for you. And the people that you're mocking and cursing are the ones that are going to be blessed. That is what the point that it's making in that particular surah, those particular verses. It's not trying to tell you, let me tell you the whole salvation. That was never the point of it. It drops in the hundreds of times that it makes mention of Jesus. It mentions the crucifixion just once. as a parenthesis. That's not the major point that it's trying to teach you about the crucifixion and the resurrection and all of things there. It just merely, goes past it.
Okay, so even if I give you that, right, and say, all right, that's what it is, these are just, just whatever, little like side stories, just trying to entertain the people while giving the message. All right, even if I give you that, the problem is like I told you, is that, all right, let me just ask you again the question that I asked you earlier before I go on, and maybe I can get a better idea of what you're saying. What is the actual message of the Quran? Like, so for instance, you have like the Shahada where you basically make an oath and you say that there's only one, one God, which already right there, they make an effort to distinct themselves from Christians who believe in a triune God, right? So they say there's only one without all that triune stuff, right? Without the Son and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so all right, so maybe you have some more scholarship, and which I have as well seen in the past, right, where people have been able to say, all right, there's no, it doesn't even make sense that you say that God is one union when it can be one, it can be a union of one basically. So I've heard those conversations before, and the arms, the legs, shin, all that stuff. Him having partners, but so in the Quran they say there's only one God and Muhammad is his messenger and stuff like that, right? And so there are basic fundamental teachings that come with Islam and the Quran. That's my point. Now it doesn't make sense, right? And also at that time, not everybody was Christian in that area. Not everybody was Christian. There were some people that didn't even believe that Jesus Christ was divine, right? Because you're implying that they believe that Jesus Christ is divine too. They just changed up the words or the names and stuff.
I'm going to say, in the people during the time, there was various different Christian groups.
Exactly.
During the time, they were, you got the Malachites, you got the Jacobites, you've got the Nestorians, you have all different forms of different Christianities. Then you have Jews, then you have like halfway Jews Christians, then you have what people call pagans, and then you have Byzantium Christianity, monophysite Christianity, miaphysite Christianity, deiphysite Christianity. There was a whole litany of Christianities. And it seems as though the Quran does have a particular, let me not even go into that because that's
but I've seen like you watch that, I think it's P Finder's channel.
Finders, yeah.
So he's I forget the guy's name, but he has a few.
Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
Go on.
So he has a few scholars that come on there, and some of them will have different theories. Some of them will say that it was anti-Trinitarian scripts that were being were the foundational scriptures. Some would say it was actually Christian scriptures, like you're saying. I mean, Trinitarian scriptures, like you're saying. Now, so I'd just say it's probably a mixture of all of them, right? And but to get back to the point, so all right, this is what I was saying. So all right, with the Quran, when we look at the Quran, the major teachings around it, right, the foundational teachings, none of them, right, resemble anything like what we know in Christianity with the Trinity. Like in terms of Jesus Christ being a savior for all mankind's sins and stuff like that. So we don't have that in the Quran. Now, I would, even if I give you the whole homily thing, right, it does still have fundamental teachings that come with it. And for it not to have the biggest, most pivotal teaching in the Bible, it just doesn't make sense for you to say that the two are the same if it doesn't have that. Because, I mean, it has all the other, so it has the 10 Commandments, doesn't it?
No. Well, not that I'm aware of. It might have different commandments in there, like jurisprudence in there, but not thou shalt not kill, thou this and so forth. It's not in there.
Okay, like not well, not word for word like thou shalt not kill, but don't they have like rules and stuff like that where based on the Ten Commandments from the Bible?
They have rules, yeah. I don't know
based
on. I don't know if it's simply based on the Ten Commandments. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I need to look into that too. Then
no, it can't be, because the Ten Commandments doesn't really talk about eating pork. Actually, no, it doesn't talk about making wine and alcohol prohibited.
No, I mean
at
like
least...
thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, stuff like that.
They have. I mean, those things are basic, fundamental to all human existence and society.
No.
So every
They're
religion,
not.
every creed would have that.
Nope.
Yeah, pretty much. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not
Kalam,
steal.
help me out there.
Okay, which race, human society doesn't have a concept of you shouldn't kill?
There's many,
and you shouldn't.
There's many, and even just in recent history, we've gone through periods of time where there was lawlessness in certain areas. Even in the UK, like Scotland, the Highlands.
They had, of course, they had
the Irish.
Of course, they had the concept of you shouldn't kill, murder.
I know
stealing.
Kalam knows what I'm talking about.
These for thousands of years.
You see, modern society is basically the way we see it today is basically has come from the New Testament, has come from Judeo-Christian teachings. So that's why you think that it's all humanity, but it wasn't always like that.
No, the Celts had concepts of not killing and stealing. The Persians, the Babylonians, the freaking Mongols had those concepts. Every society without any knowledge of the Bible has had the concept of you shouldn't kill, you shouldn't steal, because you can't function. It is detrimental to the functioning, day-to-day functioning of any society.
There's a lot of cultures where killing is actually advantageous.
No, killing who? But killing who? Because
killing the enemy.
No, yeah, exactly. They all have in-groups unity, out-group hostility, and so does Christianity. Christianity isn't absolutely
altruistic. But what happens in these societies is that the people that stand out in these societies, right? There's some societies where there's total lawlessness, and for you to stand out is for you to be the most powerful, for you to kill everybody, that gives you respect in society.
Hold on, one second.
All right, go ahead.
Henry the Third. Come on through. He says, Kalam, Google Arabic translations on the PDF. Oh my days. Come on in. If you want to be doing.
But anyways, you sidetracked.
Mad ad hominems. Yeah. Again, let me just send you the link so you can come on in, and then we spank you and we send you on your way, and then I can finally go and do what I'm trying to get done, But yeah, go through.
But yeah, all right, let's get back to the topic though, man. We're getting sidetracked.
Okay. So, what I'm getting from you is that, the Quran should basically have the basic principles of
not the base, the most
salvation.
The most important, the most important principle is not there. Like everything that the Bible is about, basically, is not there in the Quran.
You know what we should do? We should pull up like about 5 different homilies, during the time or even later on. Okay, and then we should judge it based upon that, whether they're Christian writings based upon what we read.
So I would agree with you. I would agree with you and say yes, they are Christian writings. I would.
Yeah.
Because that's where they come from.
Yeah. Right? But I'm saying, based on your standards, I'm saying we pull up like 5 different homilies. Yeah. And then we'll say if each one of these ones that maybe, few, I don't know how many pages long, if they don't talk about, the crucifixion, how can my man say, where is the link? Yeah. The link has been sent in the comment section. Yeah. Over and over again, and he's asking me, "Where's the link?" Now you are not serious. Let's just see. I'm even doing it. I'm even posting it again. I've been posted like 3.
Yeah, I seen it. You posted.
You must be trolling. You have to. Well, obviously you're trolling based upon what you're saying. We know you're trolling, but god damn, to that degree. Anyways, yeah, we can test it, right? And then that's how we can falsify my claims, right?
No. This is what I'm saying. Claims. I agree with that. Like, you don't even have to test it. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You don't even have to test it because I agree already. That they do come from these scriptures, but my point is that they have changed, right? They changed those scriptures from the originals that they came from, and they left out a lot of stuff, and to the point where the Quran today, as it is, leaves out the biggest, the most pivotal, the principal story of the Bible, right? What it's all about for Christians is not present in the Quran anywhere.
You know what it is? I'm going to say to you, what you just said is very much so possible, but I'm not going to make that claim. And I don't even put forward the other arguments that can be put forward, right? Because it's too controversial. So
you don't want them coming at you, huh?
Yeah, and that's not even what you're saying. Is it's possible that they kept it out of the Quran. They purposefully kept it out of the Quran because obviously there is a whole canonization, but before the canonization is the codification, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the same way when they were codifying the Bible, right? They left out certain books to be part of the canon, right?
Yep.
That makes sense.
Right.
So it's quite possible that in making the final edition of the Quran, they could have possibly left out certain things that showed that this is quite a Christian text in terms of whatever else you're saying. So I'm saying that's quite possible. I just don't have the evidence to prove it.
Because I don't know, but I hopefully by now you know that I'm not saying what you're teaching is wrong, right? Because I agree with that. I'm just saying that the conclusion about the way that the Quran is today and the Bible is as well, that they're saying the same thing, that I have to disagree. But then where they come from and all that stuff, I kind of agree. And I'm happy that you're out here talking about it and making it accessible to a lot of people out here, and also promoting, going out there and doing your own research and stuff like that.
Give thanks. Let's see. The Quran, much like harmless reports, certain elements of the narratives allude to others and skip others. So this narrative is not the goal, but only the means. I'm just going to keep on reading certain things that's in here, for all people who can't get the book, won't buy the book, whatever the case is. Screenshot, baby, screenshot.
Like the story you told about, the hadith with, the way you broke it down with the hadith about, Muhammad in the cave and stuff like that. That's really important. And that helps open up people's eyes to give them understanding that, like that probably was the angel of God right there, rather than Gabriel. Because that's been contentious, right? Like people have been like, how do they, where do they get the name Gabriel? Jibril or whatever. And so that was really important right there.
I want to do some reading. So again, I'm trying to put you guys on scholarship before I go, right?
All right,
again, right here, page 235 of this book. It says here, in a number of other cases, the Quran introduces its reflection on biblical traditions with the imperative udkhur. This command is sometimes translated mention, but the root dakhar seems to convey this sense only to the degree that mentioning is associated with recalling, remembering, or reminding. In the Quran, this formula seems to carry out the same function as the rhetorical question above. It brings a story into the audience's mind and thus seems to mean remember. With a similar meaning, the Quran refers to itself as a zikr. This is what we recite to you, signs and wise reminder. More explicit is the opening of Zad. The Quran is the reminder. The surah tellingly ends with a similar statement. This is nothing but a reminder to the worlds. Okay, and then the quotes there. Okay, now the Quran means above all to remind its audience of divine judgment, but it is for this very purpose that it also reminds its audience of the stories of sacred history, stories which act as proofs that the threat of divine judgment should be taken seriously. And so forth, keeps on going. Okay.
So if it did talk about divine, okay, all right, man, we've already left that topic. All right, good.
Let's see. Okay. Quran is also. I'm just gonna keep this. I'm just gonna scroll through. All right. So I'm gonna put you guys on some good stuff. Some real good stuff. Remember,
homework.
Screenshot. Yeah.
More homework.
More homework, baby. Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
when Kalam says I'm gonna school you, he really literally means I'm gonna school you.
Hey.
Yo, the Germans are going off right now, man. Like they coming out with all types of scholarship and causing all types of headaches for the, for the Muslims right now.
Yeah. Let me just see something real quickly before I go, because remember I need to go, family.
But
Action against the Jews, much like that, which in Stephen's pro. Yeah, see, look at all this, look at this. This, he's just saying the same. I love the way, this author just says the same thing I say. He says the same thing I say. I think I'm just living my own echo chamber. Anyway, in this Quran is likewise following a frequent theme in Christian anti-Jewish arguments. Okay, these points have led periodically to the argument that the Quran is an essentially Christian book that was misunderstood by early Muslims. Yeah, but check it now. Check what it says here. The Muta'assilite, Qadi Abdur al-Jabbar, okay, for example, writes in his book that Christians in his day claim Muhammad conveyed Christianity and our teachings, but his companions did not understand him.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Jeez.
One thing I wanted to just before I let you go, I know you're leaving, but I just wanted to make this statement for those because there's people in the chat who talk about, oh, Kalam, you can't even read Arabic. How can you discuss the Quran in this way? The point is that not even Arabic speakers can understand the whole of the Quran. Some of it is in Syriac. Most of it, in fact, all of it was written before the diacritical marks, the dots, the nochtes you were talking about.
Yeah.
Now, the fact is, not even you Arabs can actually read your own Quran, let alone non-Arabic people. So when you use this pathetic excuse of, oh, you can't read Arabic, well, you got to really question your own Allah. Is that God supposedly sent a religion for all mankind that only some mankind can read? What is that all about?
Let me drop this. Yeah, this is Gunter Lewing. Yeah, let me drop a little something of Gunter Lewing. It says here, every Arabic text. This is talking about. Anyways, let's go into it. Every Arabic text today, as for more than 1.5 millennia. Let's just more than 1.5 millennia. It's not even more than that. Yeah. But anyways, consists of 3 different layers: the basic drawing, i.e., the rasm; the additional or diacritical points, i.e. the nukat or the nuktas. And finally, the third setting of signs for the vowels to be read with the consonants denoted by the basic drawings and the diacritical points. So he goes in, he just breaks down, like in the original, the de facto script that the Quran was in, you couldn't tell the difference there. You see all these little, he's got here the 12 waves. Yeah.
Yo, so the whole claim that the Bible has been changed and switched up, blah blah blah. They were just projecting the whole time, huh?
See, I'm not even trying to get into trouble right now. I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to start nothing right now. But yeah, I'm just putting you guys on what new scholarship is saying, right?
Word.
And I can't wait for the time when we stop the stupid polemics, that we get at Speaker's Corner or online, As I said, the only person I'm really rating right now, is the stuff that's coming out of Jay Smith's channel.
Yeah, Jay Smith, that's
the only real stuff, that I could possibly rate right now. The
but
Christian Prince and stuff, I love watching it, I love it. Don't ever get it twisted. I love watching it, but you're not learning nothing really.
No, I have to disagree, fam. I have to disagree.
In terms of real, wait. In terms of real scholarship, real scholarship. That's
yeah. Right now. All right, this is the thing. I'll say that both are important. The polemics are extremely important because without polemics, even my understanding right now wouldn't be like I wouldn't be able to like take in what you're saying and even agree with you because it wouldn't make sense to me. Because now with the knowledge that I have from the polemics, right, I'm able to like look at Islam and see that even without some of the scholarship that you brought, we're able to like kind of like analyze it and say, all right, there's something off over here. This shouldn't be like this, like this doesn't make sense. This contradicts. which what's the word? Which basically the street evangelists or whatever you want to call them at Speaker's Corner. That's what they do, right? And they go back and forth. Christian Prince, he does something similar. He breaks down the Quran as it is right now, like the Arabic, right? He's able to like even break down the hadiths and all that stuff, and and basically the knowledge that if you put his knowledge with your knowledge, I mean that's an unstoppable force right there. And I'm pretty sure he's into some of the stuff that you're dealing with, or maybe he hasn't like looked into it yet, but I'm sure he does scholarship as well.
The thing is, you got to recognize your audience. The way I see Speaker's Corner is the WWE, and deeper and more like Jay Smith is more the UFC. There is something in the showmanship that some people can appeal to with the WWE. But if you want to learn real wrestling or real jiu-jitsu, you're not going to go to the WWE.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
You see, that's unfair. That's unfair, man. Because these guys are studying actual scripture. This is like they're studying it too. This is scholarship. You can't just say one side is scholarship and the other side isn't.
They might be studying scripture, but it's mad. You have to go into like real scholarship, though. Scripture and scholarship are two different things.
I hear you, but like some of them go into the Greek, some of them go into all types of translations, and they follow like these chains of narrations and stuff like that. It's real scholarship, bro. Like you can't just say, oh, blah blah blah, that's WWE. That doesn't make sense. Let me
ask you a question. All right, go ahead. Which apologists, Christian apologists, the Speaker's Corner, quotes Greek and goes into early church fathers and goes into real
the guy's name. I don't know if he quotes Greek or if he speaks it, but Bob the Builder is pretty good. He goes into the church fathers and all that stuff. There was the other guy, Paperboy, man. What happened to Paperboy, man?
Paperboy. Oh yeah, Paperboy.
Yeah, Paperboy was relatively knowledgeable, deep in the knowledge side. But nobody really. Yeah, but nobody really sits and starts talking about the Greek and the Latin.
Josh,
no, they do. I mean, they do, brother. They do, and that's what I'm saying. So that's what's important. It's important for them to have a place doing what they're doing. If anything,
no, it's important. It is important. It is important. I'm not going to take that away from them.
That's a fact. I think you're just being overzealous just now, like
I think the Hatun
because you have to respect it, bro. Like I
respect it. I respect it for what it is. Yeah, I respect it for what it is,
and the audience that it is reaching. Because you got to admit, Hatun Tash and Jay Smith were the ones who really publicly blew up the more than one Quran myth. They were the ones who genuinely brought it to some degree of like everyday average Muslim, what I call the village Muslim's attention, not the scholars Muslim, not the Yasser Qadi. He's known about that the multiple Qurans, I'm sure, for many years. But the village Muslim who just came out of Kabul probably has never heard of any other statement, any other narrative than there is only one Quran. They still, even to this day, Uthman, that old gentleman, he still insists that there's only one Quran, even though in his face he's seen it with his own eyes, more than 10 Qurans in front of him. You know he's lying. You just know he's bold-faced lying.
Yeah, he'll just be like, yo, you don't know what Kirata. That's the response.
Let's blow up Henry III. Henry III, are you still asking for the link? I just want to know, my guy, because I'm coming off, right? It's 2 hours already. Are you still asking for the link, my guy? Are you still asking for the link? I want to know, because you've got this big boy talk. Yeah.
What was he saying?
He just talking rubbish in the. Why are you scared of the truth? Like, all of this big boy talk, right?
Yeah.
Banksy is here. Come, speak to us, innit? Like we're here right now. Right now.
By the way, the word is sickening, not sicking.
Hey, shots fired.
But man.
But I'm gonna keep it moving though. I need to keep it moving, like seriously. But if you guys want to stay in here and talk, you can do it. But I need to go though.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
I always like listening more than talking to you, Kalam. Thank you, and thank you for the gentleman as well, the Christian gentleman.
Same, brother. All right,
my brother. Easy bands, man. Listen, whenever we open up the show link, please come true because I love it.
I bet, man. Bet.
Like, you're coming with good information. All right, and you're challenging correctly. All right, cool. Anyway,
respects, fam. Respects. Appreciate that.
Peace and
Take
love.
care. Bye.
Out. Peace.